Number one question that always comes on the phone is, Gabe, why are my fish laying down? I've used metronidazole, I've used praziquantel, I've used everything on earth, and my fish are not standing up, or they'll swim a little and drop down. What I try to tell everybody is that could be either the swim bladder is gone or that they're constipated. Remember, if you're constipated and you can't go to the bathroom, you're going to experience a lot of pain. So the same way people go into fecal mode when they're in pain, the discus lie down because they don't want to move. In swimming, they create pain. Okay? So the way we treat that, the first treatment that we're going to do is we're going to use epsom salts. And epsom salts, you can get them anywhere, guys. Any pharmacy will have them. Okay? And there's a big difference between Epsom salt and salt. I realize that the salt is in the back and everybody assumes that Epsom salt is aquarium salt. It is not. Regular table salt is sodium chloride and Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate. Magnesium sulfate, if you sprinkle it on top of your food, you'll be sitting on the toilet for a week. Okay? So there's the difference between the two, and we want you to know the difference. So when I say Epsom salt, I'm not referring to aquarium salt. I'm referring to magnesium sulfate, Epsom salt, which you can probably get at any supermarket, any pharmacy. It's very inexpensive. Walmart might have it even. I'm sure they do. And we put a heaping tablespoon for every 40 gallons. You put that in. That's your X-lax, okay? And that'll make the fish defecate whatever it's blockage. In other words, if it's blocked up internally, the Epsom salt, the magnesium sulfate, will get them to release all of that. Once they release all of that, then you can treat with metronidazole, to remove the internal infection that may have been caused by the food decomposing internally, okay? But it's necessary that you try the right things with the right conditions. In other words, I don't want you to take an oxytetracycline for a headache. I say that all the time. You got to treat with the correct medications. So Epsom salt is the way to go. If after a month of treating with Epsom salt, and by the way, you put it in only once, because salts don't leave the water. The only way they leave the water is if you do a water change. So if you're in the middle of a treatment and you do a 30% water change, you got to replace that 30% of Epsom salt in your tank. After a month, if the fish hasn't relieved themselves, chances are it's swim bladder. And if it's a swim bladder, realistically, there is no cure for that. Okay, the fish will just live like that, just like a person limping for the rest of their lives. He won't be able to regulate himself, and that's why he'll either fall or he'll have his head facing down. But I'm hoping that you guys can gather some information on this video. There's a video for you, my fish laying down people. Okay, I'm Gabe Posada from Jack Wattley Discus. Always a pleasure to be here for you.